Never had the majority. We got to parity during Reconstruction. We never got to the majority. And we were Republicans then. Now we are Democrats. There's not a place in this country where black people have become the majority. I've been talking about a new black South for the last 8-9 years because the only way black people in America are ever going to see true equity and justice is when the black folks that move to Detroit and LA and New York and Newark and all of these places come back to the South and we get critical mass. Louisiana's 33%, 34%. Louisiana's 34%.
Economic boom houses that you just mentioned.
Because we need to be willing to build something. Because we as black people need to be willing to build something.
Why would black people leave? Which is a great question. Why would they leave out of those great economic places where they're doing well with their families? Why would they leave and come back to the South?
She already said they're leaving because there's a ton of them leaving because of the affordability issues, and we understand that. The second piece of that is there's a bunch of us that need to be willing to build something, to commit to building,
make the sacrifice.
to building something that is lasting. The same way after Reconstruction, when we had nothing, we built black institutions. We built black hospitals. We built black community centers. We built all of the things that we have. Howard Hospital exists because black people came together and said, we need an education for our children. Southern University Law Center exists because black people came together and said that they wanted to have a place to educate themselves. We need to get back in the business of building something that is lasting for us, and the only place that we as black people can get critical mass is the South. Again, to my point, Mississippi is 37% black. Louisiana's 34% black. Georgia's 33% black. If a pinch of our cousins leave Detroit, LA, San Francisco, and all of these cities and come back to the South and commit to building, good sister, then we can have the future that we desire, and the individualism that you talk about and all of those things is possible, but it's possible in a safety net of black leadership.
Tell us why. Why is it that when people think of a Republican or a conservative, they think of a white male first? Why is it that they're not thinking of you?
Because it's the truth. And we can't run from that. We can't hide from that. We can't pretend or make excuses for it, right? If you start looking at why black people started the Republican Party in the first place, it happened in the 90s, in the 1890s. And that's when the Republican Party went lily white, when they went actively starting to throw black people out of the party. They pushed people out of positions of leadership within both the state and the federal party apparatus. So even though they love harping back to a time of the party of Lincoln where they were in sync with Black America, and we had one goal in mind. As soon as that war was over and that fight stopped, they went about making sure we did not have a place in the Republican Party. What they have done instead is co-opted a league of black faces, a stable of black faces that go around and regurgitating their talking points with no actual connection to the black community. They have no connection to our history. They have no connection to our culture. They have no connection to our faith. And that's why you often find them in opposition to everything that black people stand for and that are at the heart and the crux of what we believe and why we fight, why we do what we do.
So if somebody were to ask you, Sonnie, why are you a part of a party that is not welcoming to you?
First and foremost, I'm not a Republican. Mm-hmm. I am a black conservative. I stick closely to my ideology, not to a political party apparatus. And the second part I would say to that is if you want to take on a Goliath in some of these areas where Democrats have run for 60 to 100 years and have total control of every single apparatus, sending a lone individual or a small group in to try to take on this machine is not going to work. And the good thing is, for most black areas, there is no Republican Party because the Republican Party refuses to come to our communities. It refuses to be a part of the fabric of who and what we are. But that leaves us an opportunity because that means that these Republican Party branches are wide open. And with all of the knowledge that black Republicans have garnered over the year and the networks that we have, we are really now looking at the ability that we are in a position to actually provide the black community with a choice.